listening to the One Step Deeper podcast with your host, Jimmy Moore and Brittany Davis. OneStepDeeperPodcast.com.
How are you?
I'm good. Just doing my thing day by day. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I don't know. I did not want to get out of the bed this morning. I really, really did not. I hit my snooze like 3 times, and that's funny because I don't believe in the snooze button.
I could tell because usually you're up sometimes around like 5 a.m., but at worst like 6 a.m. because I see you like on my stories and different things. Brittany weren't up this morning, so.
Oh, it's hard for me. I don't know if it's just biology or romance or whatever, but like when Wild Man's home, I don't want to get out of the bed. I just don't want to. I don't want to leave.
And there's certainly not anything wrong with that. I can think of worse things to be stuck in than the bed.
Yes, absolutely. So I was stuck in the bed this morning.
Yes, you don't want to get unstuck from the bed when the bed is calling.
Right, absolutely. Oh, goodness. I like that little thing you added in there.
Girl, I've done
I was trying. I was trying to get around to it.
So we're going to talk about today, you guys, speaking of stuck, how to get unstuck. And I know that's a very open-ended topic. And so when you pitch that to me as a topic, I'm like, oh man, 1 hour may not be enough because there's so many ways we get stuck in life. And of course, you and I both have been on weight loss journeys. And so that's an easy one to go there as an analogy. Oh, I'm stuck in my weight loss. And so I look forward to this episode today. Guys, episode 11. We are here on One Step Deeper Podcast. Go check us out, onestepdeeperpodcast.com. Also on the Instagram page, One Step Deeper Podcast, One Step Deeper Podcast Community over on Facebook. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. By the way, if you love the podcast and you're listening to it, go do us a favor. The way a new podcast like ours grows is you get lots of reviews, and we would love to see and hear your reviews. Maybe we get a few, we'll read them on the air and show our appreciation to you. So go do that. It only takes a few minutes, and it means so much to especially a brand new podcast. So go check that out. And if you got these little technologies in your house, ask Alexa to play the latest episode, and on come Jimmy and Brittany onto your airwaves in your house.
It's still kind of surreal. Like I can say that, be like, Alexa, play One Step Deeper Podcast, and there I am. It's my voice. Yes.
And of course, we're on YouTube and the Instagram page. We put it everywhere. And then we premiere these episodes. Thanks to you guys watching right now at the premiere, 4 p.m. Eastern time over on YouTube. You and I are in the live chat. It's kind of lonely sometimes because it's just the two of us, and maybe one person will say a thing or two, but we want to hear from more of you. So come join us for the live chat on Sundays. But today, how to get unstuck. Like, I guess before we get into how to get unstuck, why do people get stuck? Is it a mindset thing? Is it a choice?
Yes. Like I was going to say, like before we get to the unstuck part, we have to unpack what stuck looks like. And so you also need to unpack, and we can get into all of this, that stuck isn't always stuck. It's actually other things.
Yes.
But stuck can look like you weight loss. You're pushing through, and maybe you've not pushed yourself as hard as you can, and you're just kind of stuck in a rut of or maybe your day-to-day life, you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and you just kind of like, I'm stuck here, like this sucks, and like I said, stuck can look like so many different things. It can be in any aspect of your life, and it doesn't always mean that you're stuck.
You know what stuck is? This just popped in my head. That's why I love this show, because it just breeds creativity. Stuck is you are comfortable, you are complacent, and you're happy-ish where you are. And so once people feel that level of contentment, Brittany, I think they're like, all right, why do I need to push harder? Why do I need to take the focus off of what I was doing? I'm in a place where I feel pretty decent. And I think that's where people get stuck, especially in the weight loss journey. They always say, oh, I'm stuck. I'm in a stall. I'm like, all right, how long? And they'll be like, oh, 3 days. I've not lost weight. I'm like, you ain't stalled. You ain't stuck. The process is working. And I went through a 10-week period in my initial weight loss where I didn't lose any weight on the scale. But then, oh, how much?
3 months. I lost nothing.
But see, and you'll probably attest to this, in the midst of that 10 weeks that I wasn't losing, 2.5 months for me, I lost 6 inches off my waist. I continued to feel better. I could see where I was losing weight. It was amazing. And it dawned on me then, all right, things aren't always what they appear.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't ever prepare for these podcasts other than the Enneagram one. I don't prepare for these, but I like to kind of think on the topic before I get here. And I was thinking about this topic last night, and I literally wrote it down that you're not stuck, you're in your comfort zone. Like, you have to define that you're not actually stuck. You're just comfortable, and you're comfortable where you are.
You know what stuck could be as well? Again, you just struck another thought in my head. I love this, and I love our relationship that we do this all the time off the air, so it's fun when it happens on the air. You get so used to things that you can't see the better.
Yeah.
And so you're in that kind of automatic mode of, all right, this is the way things are, never even visualizing that things could be better, but it's because you get to this point, and then you feel that pull from within. There's something more, and I feel stuck, but you don't realize it's your own doing because you're so comfortable right here when there is possible. It takes a little bit of an effort to jump up there.
So I lived my life saying, vocalizing for years, I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in my small town. I'm stuck here in this house. I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here. And I told myself that, and I started to believe it. Whatever you tell yourself, just like you asked at the beginning of the episode, is it a mindset? 100%. It's a mindset, and whatever that mindset looks like is different. But for me, I kept telling myself I'm stuck here. And so I believed it, and I didn't push myself, and maybe stuck was my comfort zone. Just this idea that, well, this is as good as it's going to get. But somewhere along the way, I had this internal, this is not enough. This is not okay. And I grappled with this is not enough, but I don't know how to get up there. I don't know how to get to the next point. I know this isn't enough, but this is comfortable. And so I just stayed stuck there for a long time, knowing that I wanted more, but not knowing how to get to it.
I see stuck as being a mirage most of the time. Like imagine your feet being stuck in some very thick mud, and it's hard to pull your feet up out of the ground because the suction and the pull pulls you back down and da-da-da. It's a mirage. You only imagine that you're stuck because of the circumstances you're dealing with at the moment. You've got that problem a lot of times. So do I, by the way. But like a lot of people, they get so caught up in the moment of what they're dealing with at that moment that they look down, they see their feet in the mud, and they don't realize it's a TikTok filter that's making it look like that. It's not real.
Yes, and here's my counter to that. Sometimes you're stuck in the fake mud, and sometimes you got some heavy ass people pulling your ankles down.
Yeah.
You got some people who are attached to you, and the only reason why you're stuck where you are is you're comfortable with letting those people be in your life.
Yes, which again goes back to your choice about allowing them in your life. When you start purging those people and kicking them off your ankles and giving them a good, you're not allowed to be in my life untils, and if they can't comply with that, I had to
You start smiling bigger. You have a pep in your step. You're not stuck in the mud anymore. You don't have that weight pulling you down.
You're free. You're free for the first time. For the first time in your whole life, you're free. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but like when I let go of my dad last year and I refused to let him be in my life anymore, that was not an easy decision. I didn't do that flippantly. You and I had many discussions. I'm like, I can't cut out my dad and realize my dad's. But at the end of it, Brittany, I was like, I have to, for Jimmy. Like, if for nobody else, for me, I had to do that. And here we are almost a year later since that decision. And I have not been happier and more free than I am now. I'm unstuck from that relationship that I thought I was obligated to.
You have to ask yourself the hard question, and that is, am I willing to stay where I am and never grow and keep this person in my life? Or do I let this person go and go where I want to? And that's a hard question, because we're taught in society, especially when we're talking about parents or siblings or family members, we're taught that, oh, that's your family. That's your, it isn't, that's still your mom. I hate when people do that. Oh, that's still your that's still, no. You don't have, you're born into the parents that you have. You cannot choose your parents, but at some point in your life, you're old enough to take care of yourself, and it is then a choice that you get to make who is in your life. You don't have to stay in these relationships that you were born into. You can step outside of them and grow on your own, and a lot of the times it's necessary. That's why when people talk about small towns, what happens in a small town? People get stuck there. They get stuck there because they're told, oh, your family's here, so you should, this is your support. They support you and they're here for you. But in reality, you're just comfortable there. And so you're stuck there because that's your comfort zone. And maybe we should stop allowing ourselves to stick in our comfort zone for so long and get unstuck.
And what you're underscoring here, and it's a beautiful point, is we feel that pull of the obligation that keeps us stuck. And it doesn't even just apply to relationships, big time. Spousal relationships, friendships, family, even like jobs. Like you feel stuck in a job. Well, I have to support my family, but I hate the job and I really want more. And I have dreams and hopes that I want to attain. And so you stay stuck in fear that if I leave that job, and I did this 16 years ago, I left a job that was a regular paying 9-to-5 job. I think it was actually 8 to 5. And it had all the everything of a stable income, small income, but stable. And I was like, I want more from my life. I feel stuck in this job that I hate. I don't feel appreciated. I think is menial, that I have a lot more skills to offer the world than what this job avails me. And that's when I took the jump to become unstuck in my career. And then I went on to become a best-selling author, a famous podcaster, and all the things that people know me for now, because I was willing to get unstuck. And that's the thing that I want people to take away from today's episode. You get unstuck, beautiful, amazing things are going to happen for you.
Absolutely. And you said something, I was like, yes, I wrote that down too. So when I was thinking about this idea of stuck and what it was, we've already talked about that it's comfort zone, but it's also, you're afraid. You're afraid. And so because of your fear to step to the next level, the things you don't know, you stay where you are, you stay stuck where you are because you know this. Well, at least I know what this is. And so you wake up and you do the 8 to 5 job, you go and you're like, well, this sucks. I hate this, but at least I know at the end of the week, I'll have a paycheck. At least I'll know, what to expect. And so people get stuck there because they know what to expect, and so that's comfortable for them. Oh man, I have been there. I have been there where I didn't want to take the leap. Because, and I was just comfortable with being stuck because I was like, well, at least I know what this feels like.
Yeah, I wrote a post about that subject of taking a chance just this week. Go check it out, you guys, if you missed it. One Step Deeper Podcast Facebook page or Instagram page. But yeah, taking a chance requires you to lay aside those fears, requires you to just have a little confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. And you know what? Sometimes you can shoot for the moon for something that you're like, nah, that can't happen. No, it ain't gonna happen. And then you take the chance and you're like, wait, it's happening. What? Like it'll shock you how powerful that is. And there's some people, Brittany, that go through their whole lives and they never get unstuck. They stay stuck in their stuck because they choose to not want to take a chance.
Yes, and this is very harsh, but when you have those people in your life and you're thinking about them right now, I know you're listening to us, you're watching us, you know some people that are stuck in their life. Get away from them. Get away from them. The people that you are around will influence you. It's why when women get together, like, hey, you want to be on this weight loss journey with me? Yeah, let's do this together. Because it's easier when you have that support. And so you need to surround yourself. I mean, just think, let's go back to the mirage of us being stuck in the mud. You're stuck in the mud, you need some help out. Sometimes you got to plant some people around you in that circle to pull you out of your stuck and to help you go forward. And that's okay. So stop surrounding yourself with people who are just going to go, oh, I'm sorry you're stuck in here. No. You need somebody to grab you by the hand and say, come on, get your chest out of there. Come on, get up, let's go.
Yeah, I've got people in my life with the situation I've been dealing with over the past year and a half. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're just, oh my God, it's so horrible. It's doom and gloom. I'm like, shut up. Like, you're killing me.
What does Brittany say?
You have not once said any of that nonsense bullshit. You're like, it's going to end soon. Just keep positive and call me if you need me, but you're going to get through it. And you just need to feel, like we said last week, feel neutral at best, at worst, and then you'll get there and you'll get to that positive and you'll get to that thriving part that we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's so bad when you surround yourself with those people, which I've whittled down my friend list because of that. You are my best friend, but I have other friends that they'll let me go there with them. And if you're not willing to go there and you're just going to be all the tautologies of the day and just speak to me in slogans, I have no use for you in my life, because you're going to be the one that stays stuck when things get rough for you.
And let's just talk about when you get unstuck, it's lonely. Can I just be honest? It's lonely because you have to let go of all the relationships that have now been uncovered, that you've unpacked. You have to let go of all those things that you thought were bringing you happiness. That kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week. And when you let go of them, it's lonely. But it's only lonely for a minute, because then you find the people who are already unstuck and you just hold on to them and you're like, what did they do? How did you get there? Start asking questions. People are so afraid to ask questions because they're afraid to look stupid. I will look stupid right in your face, and I will just laugh right with you when I ask the stupid questions, because I'm going to get the answers that I want, whether I look stupid or not. I'm going to find those answers.
Well, and you attract those people that are your tribe. I just called one of the keto influencers this week. I saw on her story she was struggling with some things that people had said about something she did, all the stuff that I've dealt with forever. And I said, can I call you and just talk to you? And so, like, for 15, 20 minutes, I poured into her and encouraged her and told her don't get bogged down by those kind of things. And I could see in her that she was one of those people that's trying to do good in the world and trying to thrive, and she's definitely unstuck in her life. But you can rally around those people and you attract those kind of people. And I'm very fortunate. I have about 7 or 8 of those kind of people, you being the most prominent one, but others that I've cultivated that because I sought them out. And it's like, if you get unstuck, seek out other people that you see have the spirit. They just need a little bit of support, like you were saying.
Yes, absolutely. I would say that my big friends, these are the friends that know all of my secrets. I have very few of those. And that's on purpose. That's on design. That's trauma response. That's being afraid to let people in. That's all of that. But we don't have to unpack all of that giant ass suitcase today. But the point is, the more I let go of all of the things that were holding me back, and the more I get unstuck, the more people that I find like that, the more people that I find, like you, you have helped me so many times. I don't know how many times I've been on the phone with Jimmy. He's like, what are you worried about? Like, okay, hold on. Let me help you out of this. And it almost takes you as a surprise that I'm even thinking those thoughts because you see my potential.
Well,
and I don't.
That you've articulated the answers already previously to me, and I'm thinking, mirror, look, talk to self, because you know all the answers.
Yes, and it's good to have those people in your life who can just, hold on, I hear you talking. Let me pull your mirror out. Like, it's really good to have those people in your life. And I think
I could read a post that you just wrote and go, okay, so Brittany says that you need to feel the feels and stay neutral in your emotion. And you're like, yeah, I know.
I don't, Tootie, I'm trying to think of the word, not fruity tooty, but I don't just like luddy-duddy. There's the word. I don't like luddy-duddy a post. Like, if I write a post, I'm feeling it. It's something that I'm going through right now, and oftentimes it's me giving advice to myself when I write a post. Like, that's just how I write.
That's the dirty little secret of most of us that write posts. By the way, you can say tutti frutti. Tutti frutti. Is we write it for ourselves and we hope it encourages other people and helps other people. So that's kind of the secret to really good writing is, all right, that homeboy or homegirl has gone through some stuff and they need to talk to themselves.
Yeah, it's been really fun the last, I would say, year. And it just has slowly, like, I was stuck here and stuck in a rut back here. And slowly and slowly and slowly, the more I keep going, the more I get unstuck from where I was. I'm just like, whoa, I'm a writer. I like this because I pull from that experience. And two, going back to the unstuck, I don't want to get too off topic. Pull from your experiences in the past of the places where you were stuck back then and look what you did to get out of it then and propel yourself forward. Okay, I was stuck in that job, and then what did I do to get out of it? I was stuck in that relationship. What did I do to get out of it? How did I feel? What was that release that I got to move on to the next thing? And so learn from your past experiences. And again, I go back to ask questions. Like, I think that's why Jimmy and I have the friendship that we have, and we can talk deep like we do, because we never just discuss and say, I believe this, and Jimmy says, I believe this, and that's it. That's all we talk about. No, we ask, why do you believe that?
And we hardly ever go, oh yeah, I believe that too. Oh yeah, I believe that. I mean, we're very different people. You're 28 years old. I'm 49 years old. I've had a lot more life experiences. You have a different life experience because you're married with 3 kids. I've never had kids. So it's like, we're not going to have similar beliefs, but we don't let that hold us back from being friends. In fact, I think it makes us better friends, the fact that we're so different in a lot of ways, but we do agree and we do bond over our trauma.
Ooh, I got one. People get stuck and stay stuck because they only surround themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Surround themselves with people who think like them, who talk like them, who act like him, believe like them. And so they stay stuck in who they are because all of the people that are holding the mirrors, well, they're the same. It's the same person.
How do you grow?
You can't.
Oh, if you pour water on that tomato plant, but you never put any shit in the ground to help it grow. You need shit in your life to make things grow.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, when you were talking about that, I'm like, that's it. We surround ourselves with people who look exactly like us and think like us and talk like us. And if you don't look or think and talk like I do, I ain't got no use for you.
But again, it goes back to the comfort level. It goes back to familiar. Guys, if you learn nothing else from One Step Deeper, I hope it's that it changes every paradigm that you've always believed. You know, we talk a lot about mindset. We talk a lot about beliefs and how you live your life on this show by design, not to tell you this is how to live, but to say, consider this. And if you consider it and then you go, well, I've never tried that before, try it. See how it works. This little lady here has pushed my bounds a lot of ways. And I'm a better man today, by the way, because of you. I've told you this off the air, but I'm a much better man now. because Brittany's in my life, because you helped me get unstuck from a lot of old ways of things I used to do that I don't do anymore because I was willing to push that bound.
Yeah, and I will say the same thing for me. I remember when our very first like deep conversation, we were on the phone for probably an hour and a half, and I'm like, that was weird. But you kept asking me questions, and it was almost therapy like, and it was really when I got into that. I say this all the time. I love to therapy people. And really all it is I ask them hard questions. I have a really good friend of mine slash new family member, and I'll hear her start talking negative. I'll hear her start talking that stuck mindset. And I'm like, why do you think that? And it makes her pause, or, oh, well, I wonder why you think that, or where did that come from? Or I will just flat call her out. We don't do negative self-talk. We don't do that. Reframe that, please, lady. It just depends on the mood of the day. And it's plant those people in your life. And Jimmy has been that person for me when I get in this stuck mindset of I can't possibly get over there. Jimmy's like, why not? What's holding you back? You.
You're hitting on a great point too. One of the secrets to getting unstuck, how to get unstuck, is ask questions. Why am I here? What got me to this point that I feel this way? What can I do that would progress me in the direction out of being stuck? And sometimes, like we talked about earlier, it's just the acknowledging, all right, it's in my head. I'm thinking I'm stuck and I'm not really stuck. Great. You might truly be in a sticky situation where you are stuck. So then asking questions kind of sets the pathway. Here's how I get out, even if it means slowly pulling up one leg just to see if I can get out of the mud.
So 2 years ago, and I think I've discussed this a little bit here, I looked at my life. I was looking at the things that I believed within religion, the things that I believed about other people, the things that I believed about myself, the things that I believed about my environment. And I was like, I asked a really big question. And it's the biggest question that's going to get you out. Why? Why do I believe these things about myself? Why do I believe this? And the truth is, most of the things I believed were because people told me to believe them. When we open up news media and we open up social media and we look in, we think, oh, I'm stuck because this person told me I am. Yes. I'm not pushing myself 5 times a week in the gym for an hour long, and so that must mean I'm stuck. No. And, talking about religion, I threw it all out. And I was like, I want to know, I believe what I believe because I looked it up. I researched it. I believe what I believe because of me, not because anybody told me, not because I sat in a pew and I listened to somebody tell me this Jesus that I was after. No, I was like, this is everything that I was told. All right, let's start over from scratch. And sometimes you have to do that because you're just so stuck in a rut. Just take everything you were told about yourself or whatever this is and just throw it over your shoulder and just throw it over your shoulder and start over. Start from fresh. And that happens a lot. People who go through childhood trauma, they have this burden that they carry around, like literally holding it out for the world, and their arms are tired, and it's all of these things they've been told, you're not good enough, you're not enough, you're not this, you're not that. And so they think, oh, I'm stuck, I have to hold all of this, but let it go, get unstuck from the burden that you carry because somebody told you that you were stuck. All right, I got a little.
Guys, that's going to whet your appetite for a future episode. We just put that on the schedule for a few weeks from now. Not abiding by what other people tell you to do and how to live your life. You live your life. So look forward to that one here in a few weeks. But you're right. Like, so many people, they let other people heavily influence them to the point that they feel that obligation, like we've been talking about, and nowhere to go but be stuck. And sometimes those things hold you in relationships, they hold you in jobs, they hold you in a place in life that you don't want to be in, and you can't even be neutral about. Let's be honest, like some of those situations require you to break free. And
Yes.
and yes, it's scary. I'm going to acknowledge it, guys. If you try to get unstuck, it's going to scare the living bejeebies out of you. You're going to feel like you're going to fail, and it might fail. Let's just be honest about that as well. But what if it succeeds?
Well, even further into that, you're going to fail. You're going to. Like, just accept that as truth in your life. You're going to. But it's not a stop sign. Failure is not a stop sign. Keep going.
If you stay in the stuck, you're going to fail.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're accepting defeat at that point. Why don't you just step a foot out, have a little faith in yourself, and get unstuck from where you were? Yeah, you're probably going to fall down. Go ahead.
Today is Super Bowl Sunday, so I have to do a football analogy. So in the Super Bowl a few years back, the Atlanta Falcons were playing the New England Patriots, and the Atlanta Falcons were killing the Patriots like by 28 points. They were down 4 touchdowns, the Patriots, in the second half. And the Patriots could have easily said, okay, my feet are stuck in the mud. We're just going to lose. Let's just ride it out, and whatever happens, happens. No, what'd they do? Screw that. They bust out. They get an interception. They score a touchdown. They have a fumble recovery. They score a touchdown. They score a touchdown. And they end up winning that crazy game, one of the biggest like comebacks in all of NFL history. How's that for Super Bowl history here today on Super Bowl Sunday when this airs on YouTube? You're welcome, you guys. But yeah, it's an analogy that fits what we're talking about here today. They could have easily folded up camp and thought all was lost and that the inevitability of failure was there, but they chose better. And that's something else I want people to take away from today. You get unstuck because you're choosing better. You're choosing you.
Yes, absolutely. I have a football analogy too, and it's probably my favorite one of all time.
Turn.
Oh my gosh. So what's funny is my husband's real name was Chris Davis, and it was Chris Davis. They had planted him in the end zone. And this is Nick Saban and Auburn and Alabama against each other. And Alabama is up, and everybody's like, okay, Alabama's going to win. Well, they decide to punt the ball and like for a field goal. Well, the brains of Gus Malzahn's like, you know what? I'm going to put Chris Davis down in the end zone because this thing's going to be short. And sure enough, the field goal attempt was short. He runs the ball back for 106 yards and wins the game with 1 second on the clock. It was the biggest comeback in history, but they didn't give up. They didn't say, we're stuck here, we're going to accept. We only have 1 second to win this thing. And they did, because they didn't lay down and be like, oh, we're just going to be stuck. We're just not going to win this Iron Bowl. And they came back and they won. And yes, that was a really great story, but you didn't get me fired up talking about Auburn. But
And they still talk about that today.
Yes.
Think about that, you guys. When you make that bold move, when you something that seems like you're never going to get unstuck, if it feels it's inevitable and then the flip happens, nobody's going to forget it. When I decided to go full time and bet on Jimmy back in 2006 and do what I do, can you imagine had I not taken that step? My life would have been radically different. Who knows where I'd be today? I know that I'm glad I took that step, and I'm still reaping the benefits of that decision even now. People know my name. People know my voice. People buy my books and all the things. It's like none of that would have even been an inkling had I not been willing to get unstuck.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where I am. And so slowly over the last 10 years with my husband, one decision at a time, we became unstuck. And so just a little bit from my husband's past. He was stuck underneath a very narcissistic stepfather and stuck in a job. His stepfather owned a business, and my husband was stuck in that job and stayed there and was just accepting of this is it. This is all that there is for me, because he had somebody, and this goes back to somebody telling you, he had somebody telling him he wasn't worth anymore. He had somebody telling him this is all you'll ever be able to do. He had somebody feeding these lies into him. And so again, when we are talking about being stuck, it's people, society feeding into that idea. And then I come along and I'm like, no, babe. No, no, you are worth more than this. I know you're worth. And sometimes you have to be that person. I was that person for my husband, but sometimes you have to be your own. No, ma'am, no, sir, you're worth more than this. This is not enough. You're not stuck here. And I just kept, and then my husband took a giant chance.
On you?
I was the best thing that ever happened to him, okay?
I don't disagree.
Oh, goodness. But he took a big leap for our family. We took a big gulp, and we leapt into this next job, and it opened a lot of doors. But he went in low in the totem pole. He didn't know anything about this job. He didn't know anything about maintenance when he got in there. He stuck his head down, and he worked, and he worked, and he just kept taking steps. Fast forward 4 years later, after he's left this job, 6 years later, excuse me, he's left that job, gone to another one. This job back here calls him back and says, what will it take to get you back? Because he took the leap and he said, I'm just going to work. I'm just putting my head down. Nobody can talk to me anymore. Nobody can tell me who I am, what I am. I'm not stuck at that very first job. I'm not stuck there anymore. He put his head down. They called him back and pretty much begged him to come back because he got unstuck back there. And that has opened all of these doors. And it has made him, yes, we're talking about a job here, but I think that one thing made him realize, I'm not stuck anywhere. I'm not stuck in any house. I'm not stuck in any job. I can make anything happen because that one time he took that one chance, and it inspires you on the inside to keep doing that again.
You hit on something at the beginning of the story, and it's a beautiful story what's happened with your husband, and you guys are reaping the benefits of that because it's an essential job that he's been able to keep it the whole time. But you hit on something. Part of the thing that keeps people so stuck is they don't see their own value. I am constantly trying to feed into you your value, how amazing you are on this podcast. You don't always believe me when I tell you. And I'm like, if anybody knows a good podcasting person, it's got to be me because I've been doing this for so long. And so you're amazing. And I tell you that often. And I tell you, keep doing what you're doing. You're a natural at this. And everybody watching and listening to this right now agrees with me, Brittany. So when I say your value, you have to believe it because you don't always believe in your own value. But people get stuck in where they are because they don't see their potential of what they could do. This podcast alone is a manifestation of Brittany being stuck before this came along. How long did you want to do a podcast before you had one? 2 years?
Yeah, probably about 2 years.
Yeah, so you wanted to do this for a while. What kept you stuck?
Oh, me.
Yeah, more specifically, what was it about you? Did you feel I'm not good enough? I don't have anything to contribute because you didn't value yourself? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying here, that so many people paralyze themselves staying stuck because, and I don't think you were necessarily comfortable without the podcast. You wanted it. You had the desire, you had the want to, but you didn't have the will to.
Yes. When you're saying that, it reminded me of someone who was inspired by my weight loss journey 2 years ago. And this person had said over and over and over again to themselves, well, I can never do that. I can't do that. Like, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm just excited because that opened up a whole nother door. I'll finish that story first. And I was like, why not? Who do you think that I am? Like, stop putting me on a pedestal. We got to stop putting other people on a pedestal and making ourselves lower. And like, oh, well, I could never do that. Why the hell not? Why not?
I get it all the time with podcasting. Why should I podcast? You do a good job. I'm like, I don't reach everybody. Like, Don't devalue yourself that much that you don't think you have something to contribute. And now everybody and their mama has a podcast. There were 900 when I started. Now there's 1.1 million podcasts.
Well, one thing that drives me up the wall more than anything that people say to me in response to, they see me on socials, they see me organized, they see all of these things. They're like, I wish I could be that way. And I'm like, you think I was just born this way? You think I was just born organized? You think I was just, no, I put in a lot of effort. And it makes me laugh at I don't remember what episode it was when I was like, y'all don't wish to be me. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. But people get stuck because they see other people and they want to be like that. And they just think, oh, well, she didn't have to try. No, I worked really, really hard. I've worked extremely hard to get where I am. I've battled my own mental thoughts. I've battled all the chatter that other people tell me. I've battled childhood trauma. I've battled almost dying in the hospital. It wasn't an easy journey to get where I am. And there are still areas of my life where I feel stuck. Let's just say that, and I'm sure Jimmy has too, where he's just like, this sucks. I'm stuck here. And then you have to constantly battle those thoughts of, nope, I'm not stuck here. This is temporary. I can keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm not stuck. And just, okay, sorry.
Well, okay. I think we can get overwhelmed by the thoughts. And again, I'll go back to it. When you think in the moment is when you think you're most stuck. If you think big picture, which is what I try to do in every aspect of my life, it doesn't mean I don't enjoy the life that I live, that when I'm talking to you on a private call, we're in the moment, I'm talking to you, I'm focused on you, and vice versa, you're focused on me, and it's wonderful. But in general, I'm doing that big picture view because that keeps you from getting stuck. If you can see down the road, I'm tall, so I get to see over people in crowds. I can see what's ahead, whereas if you're a little shorty, what's going on up there? I can't see. And so all you see are these butts right in front of your face of these tall people. And so you don't really get to see. That was a visual for you short people. You don't see what's happening. But if you kind of take a bigger look and you look around, all right, I see. Okay, like if you're exiting a football stand, for example, and it's just this slow move. I guess they don't do that in the world of the C word. But back in the day, you used to be crowded. So, but you can see clearly. It's hard to be stuck when you see clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. When you allow yourself to open your eyes and see clearly. Yeah. And within that, taking another, that is what I love about this podcast, and just the name of it, the branding, like this was it, one step deeper and just keep going. So people get stuck because they do the same thing that they've always done. And they think, and what definition of insanity, they think, well, I've always done it this way, so this must be the way that it's supposed to be. And they get stuck there in this mindset of, this is just how I've always done it. So this is how I'm going to always keep doing it. When there's so much more out there, there's so much to learn and so much to know. And I almost get offended when they're like, it's just how I've always done it. And I'm like, ew.
And from a diet standpoint, how many years did so many of us eat low fat and eat low fat and eat low fat and eat low fat? We did that over and over and over again. And we wondered why our weight was stuck, why we felt like crap, why maybe health didn't optimize, why all the things that happen when you stay stuck on a diet like that. Why did you stay stuck on it? Because you were told that's the diet, that's the one to get healthy with. And that's a lesson too. You stay stuck in what you think is true. And if it's not actually true, that's where you get unstuck. That's where you go find keto in the diet analogy, or you go find some other thing other than low fat, because low fat obviously has shown it's going to keep you in the mud. And do you want to be a stick in the mud on a low fat diet, literally? Or do you want to like break free of that and try some other things? And that's applicable across all of life.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that. And I am here today because of keto. Like, I found keto 3 years ago, and I took a chance on keto. As a matter of fact, telling a little bit of my weight loss story, I had tried all the things. all the things. I had tried vegetarian. I had tried vegan. I had tried Weight Watchers. I had tried all of the things that are out there. And the truth was, anything that I picked, I would have been successful in if I had viewed myself as not stuck. But let's not go there. So with keto, I was like, all right, you got 7 days. Show me what you got. I literally don't do that, by the way. Don't ever do that on any journey that you do. Don't do that. But I said, all right, you got 7 days. 7 days in, I've lost 8 pounds. And I'm like, this is the one. I found the one. I have found the answer. And so I kept going and kept going. But keto opened all the doors where I am now. Keto was my chance. I took a chance on this thing that didn't make any sense. It didn't make sense to anybody around me. What do you mean you're eating a bunch of meat, high fat? You're drowning stuff in olive oil. What do you mean? Does not seem right. I lost 70 pounds. I transformed my outside body, and that inspired me to start changing all of the negative mindset, the stuck mindset of I'm stuck here. It inspired me to where I am today. And so, like, I would just tell you, if you've always felt like you're stuck in this life, find one area to get unstuck in, and it will inspire you to get unstuck in all the other areas of your life.
Oh, it cascades. And I talked about this last week, that when I lost 180 pounds on the Atkins diet 17 years ago, I had a confidence.
Yes.
I was so stuck emotionally. I was so stuck in my self-worth that it took that weight loss experience and people talking to me and complimenting me for me to get that confidence. And once I got the confidence, I don't think I ever lost it since 17 years ago. And I'm glad, because it makes me more willing to try to break free in other areas of my life. And I have.
Yes.
And I continue to. Like, that's the fun part of this. Isn't all right, I've broken free, everything's great. No, it might be, okay, you loosened your big toe. And then
Yes.
you toe. And then your third toe. And it's this methodical process of, you want to be totally, I'm pretty close now to what I want to be, but thanks again to you and other people in my life has kind of influenced that. But be kind to yourself through this, unstucking yourself and breaking free from that, because you might think, I'm putting in all this effort and nothing's happening. Oh, something's happening. Something is happening. It may not feel overwhelmingly gleeful, and you might feel like progress isn't happening at the speed you want it to, but things are happening. Just keep working on it.
Analogy, weight loss is easy. Throw out the damn scale. I'm not just talking about in weight loss. I'm talking about in every aspect you're trying to get unstuck. Throw out the scale that you put yourself on. Throw it out. Take a picture, a mental picture of where you are. Get a journal and write down how you're feeling right now in this moment. I feel stuck. I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And then start your journey, your personal development journey. 6 months from now, go read that page again and see if you still feel that way. Have something where you can see progress. And when you're talking about personal development, it's hard to see progress in the moment because it feels like just this madness of just dealing with all of these emotions and things that we deal with. It does feel like madness, but go back and look where you were. I have a journal. On my darkest day, when I started keto, when I started my weight loss journey, it was very dark. And I wrote all that down. I wrote all those feelings down. And so I might not be where I want to be, but I'm not there anymore. And on this journey of getting unstuck, turn around and look where you came from. Look where you were. I remember 12-year-old me in the living room getting sexually abused. I'm not there anymore. I'm not stuck there anymore. That man is not in my life anymore. I fast forward to when I'm a teenager and I go through some hell stuff there. I'm not there anymore. I'm not stuck in that house. I'm not stuck there. I go fast forward into my 20s when I meet an actual real in life racist, like KKK member. And I was exposed to some things and I just could not even believe that still existed. I'm not there anymore. And so when you turn around, you look at all the things, I'm not there anymore. I'm not there anymore. I don't have to stay stuck where I am now. I can keep going. Like I don't have to stay in this mindset of nobody around Nobody wants to be around me. Nobody wants to be in my life. Nobody chooses me. I don't have to stay there because it's not the truth. It's lies that I've told myself. And so, listen, I'm on this unstuck journey as well. I am.
Guys, I have to remind her often that I choose her.
Yeah.
Willingly, even though she's wackadoodle sometimes, I still choose her. I still adore you as a friend, and I think it's reciprocated. I don't speak for you, so I learned that one a long time ago. Don't speak for Brittany. Brittany knows how to speak for herself. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but that goes back to, way early in the episode when we were talking about relationships, and be mindful that when you start letting those people go that are dragging you down the ankles, surround yourself with people who choose to be in your life, not that you're obligated to. Don't feel obligated to those people or obligated to stay where you are because little Johnny is right here and I can't leave him. Yes, you can. And you have to. You have to for yourself. And maybe if little Johnny sees you take that jump, he's like, I want a little bit of that too. And then he'll come along. But you can't decide your life by what little Johnny wants. I don't know where that name came from, but you can't decide your life by little Susie or little Johnny.
Sorry to all the Susies and Johnnies out there.
Oh, goodness. You can't decide your life and be stuck where other people are because you're afraid to leave them. And you can still love them. I'm not saying that they can't be in your life. I'm just telling you, you can't open the doors to the chances that you want to take and to the life that you want to live and let other people dictate that.
Oh, there's a very high susceptibility that once you get unstuck, the brain remembers when you were stuck, or at least the perception that you were stuck. So it's going to try to push you back there again.
Oh,
life circumstances, through people. And again, at the end of the day, it's all going to come here, guys. And here, you've got to know thyself, know where you're going, know what you want for yourself. And that's a stuck-proof plan. The problem is, it's kind of like those people who go on a diet, they lose weight, they feel great, then they go back to their old way of eating thinking, I'm better, when they don't realize that was the very thing that got them stuck in the situation they were in to begin with. And so keep yourself surrounded by the new people, the new habits, the new everything that's changed that got you unstuck, or lest you fall back into stuck again.
Yes, exactly. It's not like, I'm going to go on this personal development journey and poof, I'm better and I'm going to allow all the other stuff back. No, you can't do that. You have to make the decision to keep doing what got you unstuck and just keep on that path.
And it's redefining what comfortable is, because maybe when you get unstuck, you go, whoa. I never knew. I think about a fitness journey for a lot of people. They're intimidated by exercise, lifting weights and all the things. But then, they start it and it's like, ow, ow. But then they go, oh, crap. I see muscles. Oh, crap. I can lift. And you just start to get all of this comfortability in things that you thought were uncomfortable and impossible before. Now the impossible becomes possible. That's what getting unstuck does for you. Whereas if you stay stuck, you'll never tap into that.
Yes. And don't be surprised if along the way, just like talking about fitness, when you very first start, you might be lifting 5 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel stuck there. You're not going to grow muscles anymore because you got to push yourself some more. Then you got to go up to 10 and 20 and 200. You have to keep pushing yourself.
When I was 400 pounds back in 2004, I stepped on a treadmill and I walked for 3 miles an hour on flat. No even incline, just 3 miles an hour. Anybody that's walked on a treadmill, that's obscenely slow. So maybe 2.5 miles an hour. It was really slow. But for a 400-pound guy that had never done that before, it was the beginning of breaking free and getting unstuck.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I know. I've been there, and I got knocked back down after my surgery and all, and I had to start all the way over. But You can. One foot in front of the other, you're not stuck where you are.
And in your case, like you've had some issues pop up where it's become challenging again lately over the past few months. And so you could allow yourself to get stuck in, well, I guess this is my life. I guess this is what it's come down to. Guys, Brittany's had the woe is me moments. We've had many a talks and many
year.
And many not talking to you for a few days because I have to process moments. And so you make those less frequent, by the way, because you realize I have a little bit of wisdom that helps you out in those moments. And I want to be there in those moments too. And that's the other thing. If you feel yourself getting stuck again, reach out to those people that mean something to you that can help pull you out before you get stuck in the mud again.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I had a stuck in the mud year, and I let myself stay there, and I had to choose. This is no longer enough. No matter how many times I get knocked down. 2 days ago, in the bed, excruciating pain. I couldn't get out the bed. 2 days. But I didn't lay there and accept, oh, this is it. This is my life. I'm just stuck here. No, I got the hell up. And the next day, I wasn't in as much pain. I'm like, I'm going to do something. I can't do core exercises right now. I can't run. I can't do just dance. I can't do all the things that I usually do. But I'm telling you right now, I can lift a 5-pound weight over my head. And I did. I got in the gym and I was like, I can do something. And so wherever you are and you feel stuck, you can do something to keep going. Something small. It's not all or nothing. It's all or something. Just something.
And things are never as bad as you think they are. I've been dwelling on that a whole lot more lately in a lot of the posts I've been writing. I've been writing like a madman, all these posts on a daily basis, pretty much for 2.5, 3 weeks now. I just felt that. And this show helps with that, by the way, kind of sparks a lot of thoughts, but just keep on keeping on, and don't let the situation that you're going through, in whatever it is, hold you back and let you in your own head kind of psych yourself out. That's where we get to that point where we feel we're stuck and can't get unstuck.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, that's it for episode 11, How to Get Unstuck. Hopefully we've given you some tips here today, and maybe we recognized, maybe for the first time and you haven't thought about it before, some area of your life where you do feel stuck, and that maybe some of the things we talked about will help you get unstuck. And then we want to hear from you. Like, did that help? Are you able to break free from being stuck? And then what happened? Like, we're always open to you guys. OneStepDeeperPodcast.com. We actually have a little correspondence, little link there. You can just write to us for whatever your reasons for writing to us. We would love to hear any of the shows that impact you in that way. Also, check us out, One Step Deeper Podcast on Instagram, One Step Deeper Podcast Community over on Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Alexa. Go listen to the podcast and watch us. And be sure to always come on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where we premiere these episodes on YouTube. Real quick, Brittany, what's coming up? We had a posse meeting on some of the topics we're going to talk about. I previewed one, not letting other people show you how to live your life. I'm trying to think off the top of my, do you have them? She's like, but wait, I've got a list.
Yes. Oh, I don't think we had come up with like a solid, like what the name is, but we're going to be talking about how different beliefs are okay.
Yeah, the one where there's one specific one where you and I are different. So we're going to kind of have it's okay, we're still friends, but we oppose, but we don't hate each other just because we have different beliefs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So many good things coming up, you guys. Thank you so much for being dedicated to the One Step Deeper podcast. Brittany and I love you as always. Reach out to us. That is becoming.BrittanyLee on Instagram. I'm at Living Low Carb Man on Instagram. Reach out to us. We don't bite too hard, and we would love to hear from you. So until next week, we'll see you then.
OneStepDeeperPodcast.com.